Okay, and we're back. So this doesn't take very long to dry. Okay, this setup does not take very long. Um, it's already getting dry to the touch, and what I've been able to do is take an HB pencil, and I'm looking at my drawing here, and if you remember before break, I had everyone print out. You'll need a printout of a photograph of your object in black and white. You'll print it out really nice and big, just like this. And then you'll take a Sharpie and you'll measure the half mark and then the half mark up top, and you'll just create a crosshairs. Um, this strategy just helps break up the picture so that when we go to transfer it onto the canvas, we're drawing it, we can remember what's in each quadrant. Okay, so up here, I know that the first three eyelet holes for the laces end up in this quadrant over here. I know the final two end up in this one. I know there's a big black shape here. You can't see it on the canvas because the pencil's real light, and I've got burnt sienna on there, of course. But I've started to kind of sketch, draw really loosely, kind of lay out the picture where things are going to go. The key thing to remember about painting is we're painting shapes. So you need to think about your picture in terms of shapes of color, right? So I have a black shape that kind of looks like a triangle almost. It's got a curve here, but that's about it. I've got a big white shape. This is the sole of the shoe coming in here. So I've got almost this big white rectangle that comes in here. I've got another panel of the shoe here. It's a gray area. This gets a little bit lighter, so on and so forth. So what I've been trying to do is map that here onto the canvas. What I'm going to show you now is just how we kind of like sketch paint, how we loosely kind of sketch paint in there. And so what I'm going to grab is I might just grab a little white and see what happens. Now, the reason I don't care really what color this is, I just want it to show up, and it's just for me. It's just for the artist. Because this is a painting, so I'm going to paint over a lot of stuff. I'm going to add layers. I'm going to build layers. All right? I'm going to build things up. So what I'm going to do is try to show you here just where I've got things laid out. This is white that's been mixed with a little bit of water. What I'm doing here, we call this color blocking. I'm just kind of blocking out where things are. So this is that sole of the shoe that comes in. And again, this is mixed with water, so that's why it looks the way it does. Let me adjust this camera. So you can see the sketch. It's real loose, it's transparent, right? Because I'm mixing it with water. You can see on my palette, I've just got the burnt sienna from earlier, and then I've got this little bit of white down here. Okay, so I'm kind of got that. This is the big black area. It's kind of like that shape. So I know that's going to be the black area. I can put my crosshairs in there if I want. Here, I'll just show you all that I've transferred my crosshairs onto the canvas here. So this will be my black area. That's this right here. I've got the eyelet, this part of the shoe here. I'm going to add some black just so that you can see how I'm sketching a little bit better. I'll show you how I would sketch for that black part. little bit more water because it's a little bit too dark. But it doesn't matter. This is the underpainting. This is the painting that's underneath the painting that I'm going to make. And you'll see how the paint's reacting to that burnt sienna that I put down. I'm really going to be able to build up the colors once this dries. Looks like I got some runs going on here. You'll see my white's kind of running a little bit. I don't really care. Because again, this is what we're doing here is really, really about sketch. This is the tongue up here. And what I'm doing is I'm just trying to understand this picture a little bit, so that's what all this mapping out is about. I'm going to put that white in a little bit darker. So I can see it. And below that white, is an area here that's pretty black. So you might be thinking like, oh, this doesn't really look much like the picture. Well, that's intentional, because we're just, like I said, we're just sketching. It's almost like being in the sketchbook. But if you notice, I've basically got this thing kind of mapped out. I need to start mixing up some grays so I can get this area kind of dialed in a little bit. This whole shape here is going to be kind of, I need to remember where I'm at, but in painting, the thing that we do, we say we always work back to front. So we're always filling in we're getting this baseline color. I'm not going to do this. See, the shoe logo is Supra, S-U-P-R-A, and then it's got a little crown. That's the logo. I'm not worried about details at all. Right now, I just want to figure out where everything's at. Okay, so I'm not even sweating details at all. I'm just trying to get these colors figured out. This is where my value wheel comes in handy, because I got to start figuring out what color is this? What value is this? But again, that's even a final detail that I'm not super concerned about. I just want to get the color kind of matched. You know what I mean? So I don't even want to be that specific yet. We always say we work back to front, general to specific. Back to front, general to specific. Because painting's not like drawing. Okay, so this is kind of where we're headed this week. We want to think about laying out our canvas, sketch painting, and again, not really super worried about detail. Okay.